Okay, so we have already calculated compound interest, and when we saw that the formula, and I will bring this formula today, we're going to calculate using the formula for compound interest and subtract the new balance from the original balance to find the amount of interest. So in other words, we are going to use our compound interest formula and then have to do a second process in order to find the interest. And so that is what we're going to discuss today. Let's look at our 8th grade mathematics chart and remind ourselves about compound interest. Hopefully you all have it out. If you remember, compound interest equals A, which is the account balance. It's not the interest. So if you get a question and it says, that you have a loan, it's compounded annually, what will the interest be after 5 years? If you just solve your formula, you will not be able to tell me what the interest is because you're solving for account balance. Whereas remember, simple interest, you solved for interest. So look at these. You need to know what these mean, what these variables are, okay? Because this means interest equals for simple, while for compound, account balance. When you solve your equation, you are solving for account balance. So with that being said, to find the interest from compound interest formula, find the account balance, which means you're just going to solve the formula. Then take the account balance and subtract the principal from it. So to find interest, you're going to do account balance, subtract principal. Now this is only compound because remember, simple, you're already solving for interest. So let's practice. Josh is saving up to buy a truck in a few years. His savings account has a 1.5% rate compounded annually. If he deposits $1,500 and leaves it there for 4 years, how much interest will he earn? So first, let's identify the parts. We really want you to write your formula out. So I'm going to go to my formula chart. I'm going to look at my formula, and it said compounded. So I know I need a compounded. So I've got a C, okay? A equals P times 1 plus R to the power of time. Okay? So remember, this is account balance, principal, rate, which is given to you as a percentage rate but must be converted to a decimal, and time, which must be in years. If they give you months, you must convert that to years. So principal. My principal is $1,500. That's what he deposits. His rate, 1.5%. Okay. Time, 4 years. So we don't know the account balance yet. We have to solve our formula to find that. So I'm going to plug in $1,500 for my P, 1 plus my rate. Now, can I use that 1.5%? No. Take off your percent and take your 1.5 and divide it by 100. And you get 0.015. Okay, make sure, because some of these calculators now sometimes will be set on mode 2, make sure it's on float. So I would suggest that every time you start and every time you finish, please reset your calculators, okay? All right, so we've got that to put in, 0.015, and then it's to the power, and yes, it was in years, so we can just use our 4. Now we're going to plug in our information into the calculator. So I have 1,500, open parentheses, 1 plus 0.015, parentheses. Remember, you have to use your power up button right here to the power of 4. I'm going to get out of exponent land, and I am going to hit enter. Ooh, now this doesn't round it like money, does it? So what can I do if I don't know how to round? I can go mode. I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button. I can go mode. I can come down and highlight 2 and hit enter. Hit second and quit. Now I have this big long number on here. If I just hit enter, it's going to round it. Look at what it did. Okay, so now I know that my account balance is $1,592.05, which that's money. Okay, money doesn't have all those decimal points after it. So please do not give me all those decimal points after it. I expect it to be in money. But remember, the tricky thing is for here, your percent, you can't have it on 2. You have to have it on float. Okay? Because when you're talking about a percent, a half of a hundredth of a percent is a lot of money over time. Okay? It may not seem like it, but it is over time. And you're going to get the wrong answer. Now, the multiple choice situation, you're probably going to pick the closest. Okay? But sometimes I've seen them be pretty close. So be careful. All right? So now, what was it that I had to do? They want to know interest. Okay, that was the question. How much interest? I'm telling you, this answer choice will be there in a multiple choice situation. So compound, and I needed to solve for interest. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I can get I equals A subtract P. Well, my A is 1592.05. Subtract my principal, which was 1,500. And that is going to equal my I. So I'm going to come over here, 1592.05, subtract 1500, and I get 9205. Okay, and that is your answer. So let's do this again. So it's one more step than we did the last time we dealt with compound interest. Sam took out a loan for $2,000 to pay back his dad. Okay, so there's one of my money. The loan has a rate of 2%, compounded annually. So then it's a compound question. I got a C to remind me of that. If it takes Sam 5 years, so my 5 is in years, to pay the loan off, what would be the interest that he needs to pay? So I need to solve for interest, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is write my formula. Okay, correct one for compound. I need interest, and we have written it all out nicely here to remind you, but it won't be like that. You're going to have to learn to do this for yourself. So my principal is $2,000. My rate is 2%. My time is 5 years. I need to change, and it said years, so I don't have to change that, but I have to change my 2%. Need to go to my calculator, hit mode, bring it down and highlight float, hit second and hit enter, then hit second and quit. So now I can plug my information. I have 2,000 times 1 plus my rate. Oh, I never put my rate in, I'm sorry. So 2 divided by 100, and I get 0.02. And I am going to go ahead and at that point change my calculator back. I'm going to go down and go to 2 and hit enter, hit second and quit, just so that I will get money back. I won't get a bunch of digits at the after the decimal. Then I need to fill in 1 plus 0.02 because that was my rate as a decimal to the power of time, which is 5. So now I can put all that in and solve for account balance, 2,000 parentheses, 1 plus 0.02 parentheses, power up, 5, get out of exponent land, and hit enter. And I get 220816. 220816 is my account balance. Because remember, I was solving for A. Now, to find interest, I need to take my account ending balance and subtract my principal. Okay? So my account ending balance was 2208.16. Subtract. My principal was $2,000, and that will give me my I. So I'm going to go 2208.16, subtract 2000, and I end up with 208.16. Now I'm telling you, if you're not doing the steps in the calculator, and I've said this all year, and I'm going to continue to say it, okay? So I'm going to waste your time on a video, yes, okay? If you aren't doing it with me, if you aren't touching the buttons, if you aren't writing everything down, if you are not doing all the steps that I'm doing, then when it comes time for you to do it, you don't know what to do, okay? All right, so now, number 3, look it, there's nothing there, okay? This is what it's going to be like. So, bill deposited, so I'm going to do this. I know I need principal, I need rate, and I need time at this point, okay? Bill deposited $4,500 into a savings account that has 2.4% rate compounded, so it's a compound problem. Okay, annually. If he does not make any withdrawals or deposits for 5 years, how much interest will he earn? So, my principal, $4,500. My rate, 2.4%. Time, 5 years, and it is in years. So, it says interest, so I need to solve for interest. So I'm going to make a big I equals down here so I don't forget. That's what I'm doing. I will need my account balance down here for that, right? So my formula, make sure you're looking at your chart, because that's where it is. Some of you, when it comes to a test or when it comes to something that doesn't have the formula written there, you're like, I don't know where it is. How can you not know where Pythagorean theorem is by now on this chart? How can you not know where the surface area formulas are or the volume area formulas? I don't understand that at all, because if you're using your chart every time you're working, you would be this has to become your Bible. Okay? That's all I can say. I don't understand why you guys resist using it. You think you know it all. I don't know it all. How are you going to know it all? Okay? So, here it is, your formula. A equals P times 1 plus R to the power of T. I don't even care if you will write it at least once at the top from your chart, but find it on your chart. Then write it from the top of your paper every time. Because then when you go back and forth, you don't know what to do. So I've got principal. Well, I'm going to go ahead and fix my rate first. So to fix my rate, what do I need to do? I got to go back to mode. I got to make sure float is highlighted. I'm going to go down, highlight float. It's flashing on it. I'm going to hit enter. Now it's off of the 2 and it's on float, so I can hit second and quit. I can put in 2.4 divided by 100, and I get 0.024. Okay? So then I'm going to go back mode. I'm going to get it ready for money. I'm on float right now. I'm going to go back to 2. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to hit second and quit. And now we're going to put in our parts, our pieces and parts. Principal is 4,500. 1 plus the rate of 0.024 to the power of time, which is 5. You better write that down. If you don't write that down, I'm not giving you credit. You heard me. Write down, didn't you? This is not about doing all your work in the calculator. This is showing me what you're putting in your calculator. That is fair game. I am allowed to ask that, okay? Then the calculator is just to help you compute, okay? It isn't about not having to show anything on the paper. And some of you think it is, and then you miss things, and it's crazy. Why do you want to do that? I don't want to end up over in summer school over the fact that I won't write something down to get it right. 45. Yeah, I've been on a roll this morning, haven't I? 1 plus 0.024 parentheses to the power of 5, arrow out, hit enter, and I get 5066.55. So what is that, my interest? But my answer? I hope you're saying no, Blois, no. It's your account balance. I'm not crazy. Well, good. Okay, if you said that, I don't care if you call me crazy. All right. In fact, if you tell me, hey, Blois, you're crazy in the hall, I'll be happy. All right? Because that's okay, because then at least I know you're listening. All right? So account balance. All right. I. How do I find I? You have to know this in your head. It is not on a formula chart. You take how much you made total and take the principal away. So that is A, take away P, and that equals your I, and that's what I need to solve for. So 5066.55, take away 4,500. This person didn't do too bad in 5 years. They made a little bit of money, but not enough for me anyways. All right, so we got 5066.55, subtract 4,500, and I get 566.55. I want your answers boxed or circled, okay? Now you're going to try it. You're going to do this one. Show it to your teacher before you begin the practice, okay? Your practice today, make sure interest, account balance. Be careful. You're going to be finding account balance sometimes, and you're going to be finding interest sometimes. So be careful for what the question is asking you for, okay? Don't make a mistake and give me the wrong answer. Make sure you are circling or boxing your answer, and have a great day. Yeah.